Hey guys, welcome back to Brown Table, and I'm your host Mauricio Velasco, and today we're going to be reviewing the movie Doctor Strange, directed by Scott Derrickson, starring Benedict Cumberbatch, Chiwetel Ejiofor, and Rachel McAdams. Doctor Strange is as strange as it gets. Benedict Cumberbatch plays neurosurgeon Stephen Strange, who is this pompous, rich guy, not as rich as Tony Stark, but he's just as arrogant, maybe even more, and he gets in a car accident, leaving his hands as useless as these glasses, which I don't need. So anyway, he decides, okay, I'm going to have to heal my hands now because, if I'm not a neurosurgeon, what am I going to do? I need my hands to be rich, to have a life, you know? And so he decides to find mystical healing after all the other ways of healing his hands fail. And so he finally finds the Ancient One in Nepal, and the story goes on from there. And he has to learn the mystic arts to be able to heal his hands. Now, Benedict Cumberbatch is a great actor, of course. Who can say no to Benedict Cumberbatch, alright? The guy's done Sherlock, he's done Khan. Even though Star Trek Into Darkness wasn't the greatest movie, I liked it a lot, but a lot of people didn't. No one can say that he was the worst part of the movie. In fact, he was one of the best parts. His acting is fantastic here, and he can go from really dramatic to really snappy and witty and snap, you know? It's really crazy. Now, Chiwetel Ejiofor also plays Baron Mordo, and I'm sorry if I butchered his name. Now, Baron Mordo, it's great to see him in this movie. It's a lot different from the comics. He has this character arc in the movie, and it's great to see it resolve itself, along with Tilda Swinton as the Ancient One, who also has a character arc in the movie and also resolves itself. And it's really great to see these characters play out on screen. And one of the greatest things about this movie is that who'd expect a Doctor Strange movie? Out of all movies, Doctor Strange. We've reached a point in time in comic book movies where we see Doctor Strange, and then we're seeing The Flash. We're seeing The Flash in live action later than Doctor Strange. Who would expect that? Now, Rachel McAdams plays the Night Nurse from the comics. They don't call her the Night Nurse in the movie, obviously. They just call her by her name, Christine. Christine! Need your help. But she's given a lot to do, unlike, Lois Lane from Batman v Superman. Get a lot of hate comments for that. What she does isn't forced, it's really seamlessly put into the story, and she has a great relationship with the main character, Benedict Cumberbatch, Stephen Strange. It's just great to see. What I like about Night Nurse, is that she could technically appear in other Marvel movies and kind of help out other superheroes. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. I know Claire Temple is doing that in the Netflix universe for Marvel. I don't know if they're going to do that with Rachel McAdams. They should. I don't know if they're going to. I think Mads Mikkelsen's character Caecilius is one of the biggest drawbacks from the movie, and the only reason why, and this also frustrates me, Marvel, you need to get better villains. And the biggest reason why their villains are never really spot on is because you never really see them kind of become the villain or understand their motivations. For example, one of the best Marvel villains is Loki and Obadiah Stane. Why? Is because these characters, you see why they become evil. With Caecilius in Doctor Strange, you never really understand why he turns evil. He just wants to know power and stuff like that. Okay, it's not really power, but I'm not going to spoil anything. But he's kind of like a one-dimensional kind of character. And you know that there are more dimensions to this character because they tease it. They tease this happened, this is happening, this is why he wants this to happen, but they never really explore it. And it's really frustrating to see. Captain America Civil War, Baron Zemo. Great backstory. It should be more explored. But they have so much backstory with the whole Civil War thing going on that they never really fully explore it. But just because the character's not written as well doesn't mean Mads Mikkelsen doesn't do a fantastic job, and he does. He has one scene with Stephen Strange where he's talking about his motivations, and that scene is just brilliant. I wanted to see more of that, There are parts in this movie, surprisingly in a bad way, kind of like Thor: The Dark World. Something depressing happens, and then immediately after, there's a small comedic moment. They should not do that. Why would you do that? That's always something frustrating that I always see. It's keep the drama, keep the emotion. You don't have to it's like this. If you're kind of flirting with a girl, or if you're a girl flirting with a guy, or whatever your taste is, you're not going to be flirting with this person, and then you're just going to, immediately make a wisecrack. That kind of kills the entire tension. So, movie is kind of this emotional thing that's supposed to attract you. And then the emotion of the movie is kind of just cut because of a joke. And Marvel has to really ease up on the jokes. The jokes in this movie were great. There are some scenes where it's kind of too much. You have to like stop. It's like, okay, pull away a little bit, because it kind of gets excessive. What I do love about this movie is the visuals. The visuals are amazing. The effects are just what what is the effects, man? It's like someone got Inception, kind of just went crazy with it. Like, it's like, okay, let's see if we can, take Inception, give it some like a lot of cocaine, and then let's see what happens. And you get like these amazing shots of just the world going like that. Really cool. You have to see it, okay? And now we're gonna get into the magic aspect of the movie. It's just okay. The thing about magic in this movie that really kind of bothered me is that it's a lot of just combat. It's combat magic. You can make shields, you can make whips and lassos, you can blast things at enemies, but there's never really anything more like pacifist. There's nothing really like, I'm going to heal something. Like, there's no magic spell to heal things, There's no magic spell to levitate things or transform things into other things. It's really just kind of like, I think the coolest spell wasn't anything combat related. It was actually the teleportation that they can do. That was really cool because they can just teleport from one place to another. There's a scene where Doctor Strange goes from one place to a hospital, and it's just like the seamless transition. It's like, oh, I wish I could do that, because it's so cool. But they should have more of that. They should also have more of other worlds. They didn't have that as much. But they did have that in the end, but not as much in like just the rest of the movie. They should explore more of this alternate dimension stuff that they keep talking about. What I like about Doctor Strange is that it's a breath of fresh air for Marvel. Especially after, all these movies with, Avengers and stuff. And I mean, Civil War was amazing. That's my favorite superhero movie of the year. The thing is that it's, of course, Avengery. So you're like, oh, this is going to be Avengers movie, What I like about Ant-Man, is that it's not very Avengery. The thing is that you have to watch Winter Soldier to know who Falcon is. And that's kind of frustrating to me. Like, I love how Doctor Strange is its own thing. You don't need to watch any of the other movies to know what the heck is going on in Doctor Strange, It's the second movie of Phase 3, and Phase 3 is going superb right now. I mean, Civil War, Doctor Strange is really good. What's next? So yeah, I'm really excited for Spider-Man Homecoming. Got Black Panther coming in, Captain Marvel, got Thor, Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, Thor is probably the movie that I'm most worried about. It's probably because Thor 1 was just good. Thor 2 is just eh. So Thor 3 has got to blow it out of the water to have at least, one good movie in there. So hopefully it's good. So yeah, guys, I'm going to give Doctor Strange a good 4 out of 5 stars. And it's really entertaining. If you watch this movie on drugs, don't do drugs, kids. But if you do watch the movie on drugs, you're not going to be able to like walk for like a day, because that thing is just trippy. It's just completely trippy. And another thing, I know I haven't done a review in a while. It's been like months. It's a lot. I think my last review was Suicide Squad. Wow, that movie was terrible, wasn't it? And just about Suicide Squad, an extended cut is coming out. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm really not gonna watch it. And the only reason why is because I'm not gonna give WB any more of my money. And I cannot wait for Rogue One. I'm also gonna review that movie. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And December, I have this whole lineup of crap just lined up. It's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be Behind the Class, Zootopia, Jeffrey Talks, and review for Rogue One. That's a lot. That's a lot. Sometimes I promise things, and I just realize like how much I have to do, and it's like crap. But thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully I can deliver on all my content that I promise. So yeah, thank you very much for coming to the table, and I'll see you all next time.